Coming up on this episode of the MD and Chef Team Show. Coming up on this episode of the MD and Chef Team Show.
Survival doesn't mean starting in your 20s. It can even be you have everything that you ever wanted, and then boom, you come crashing down because that's taken away from you. You have to go into bankruptcy, or there's a divorce, or there's a suit, and you're back into
like a lawsuit.
Like a lawsuit. Yeah. Boom, you're back into survival mode.
Yeah.
These steps can happen in any decade of your life.
Very true.
And we want to give people encouragement that you can move forward. It's just a place. You're not stuck there.
Welcome to the show from the MD and Chef Team. I'm Dr. Isabel, medical doctor here at the MD and Chef Team. And who are you?
And I'm Chef Michael, culinary nutrition expert. I'm the chef part of the team.
And what are we going to talk about, babe? Now, I can say that because he's my husband.
Yes. Well, then we'll be talking about marriage, relationships, parenting, intimacy. We'll talk about mindsets of success, overcoming depression, anxiety. I'll be getting into functional nutrition, recipes and tips from the kitchen. And we're going to both get into how to live a long, healthy, vibrant life.
Yes, I love it. Our mission is to help you prevent and reverse disease and give you hope in the process. Oh yeah, we like to have fun too. So let's get on with the show.
Hello, everyone. It's me, your Dr. Isabel. And today we have our Chef Michael. Hi, babe.
Well, hello there. Hey, thanks for having me on.
And welcome everybody to the MD and Chef Team podcast. And today Michael's going to be talking to us about moving from survival to significance. The other day he was sharing with me the books that he's been reading, and I go, babe, there's so much wisdom inside that head of yours. You got to share this. It's so encouraging. Please do a podcast.
Well, it's just overflowing.
It's spilling out.
Yeah. Hello, everyone out there. Well, recently I've been reading for many years these authors, but one is Zig Ziglar, and he had, well, not his first, but one of his books was called See You at the Top. And then 20 years later, he wrote a book called Over the Top. And that's, the top is getting to success and all that. But then over the top is moving to significance. And another one of our mentors, our favorite authors in the world, probably the world's leader in leadership, training, speaking, authoring, is John C. Maxwell. And he has a book called The Journey from Success to Significance. And the reason why I want to talk about this today is I know this is important for all of us out there, all of us human beings, because we have a journey of life. And I know for Isabel and I now being on this planet for 60 plus years, and her and I being together for
40 plus
years of that, we're moved through almost all these stages. And we've got more to go. We've got more to make happen. We've got more to do, more to serve. But I want to talk about these stages, and we'll relate ourselves a little bit about to us. But for you, it's about, where am I at right now? What have I been through? What stage am I in? Do I want to move further to the next stage of life? So let's talk about what's called survival to significance. So what I mean by that is, for all of us, the first objective in life is survival, just getting by. And that might mean just living paycheck to paycheck, or just having enough to be able to pay the power bill, to have some food, to maybe put petrol in your tank, or buy your bus pass. And, and Isabel and I have for many years in survival mode, where we're just getting by each week, every day. You got to check the bank account. Oh no, is there enough to get by? I mean, in the early days, there wasn't, and we had some times where it went back. Well, many times where it went backwards, and it was like, oh no, where's it going to come from? And so I think we all start out in that kind of survival mode, unless, you've inherited a lot financially and you don't start from there. But I would say the majority of us start from the survival mode. When we're beyond teenage years and out in the world, it's like, okay, how do I make this world work financially and every other area of my life that I can survive.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I know for myself early on in survival mode, it was, sleeping in parks and, and youth hostels.
Michael was homeless.
I was homeless, actually. If you want to
way at the
be
beginning,
very transparent about it, around the age of 20, 21, I was homeless for not long, but for about 3 months and slept in wherever I could find to sleep. And the reason why I was homeless was my own stupidity and my own financial and lifestyle mistakes that I made. But had to work my way out of it. And I was surviving. I mean, you want to talk about surviving. I was surviving. I gave blood,
Mm-hmm.
And got dollars for giving blood, found an odd job every once in a while where I'd work for a day laboring and make a couple dollars and be able to get food and all that kind of stuff. And Isabel and I, when we first met, it was about survival, sleeping in, getting an apartment where there's, 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment and everybody kind of is like, okay, where can we sleep?
Mm.
So early days of survival.
Ouch.
Yeah. But, a lot
We
of
did
times that's where you start. And
We did it.
so the first objective is survival, and whatever that may be for you. And maybe you're still there. I don't know. You might be 18 or 20 listening to this. You might be 50 listening to this and say, I'm still in survival mode. I want to have a quick disclaimer here. All we're talking about is where we have been. We're sharing our story. This is not about pointing the finger and saying, hey, by this age, you should be here.
Oh,
or
no,
this and
no.
that. I know for where we're at in our 60s, we should probably be further along ourselves. But this is about for you to think about, where am I now? And what are some thought processes if I decide to move further in life and further objectives? How could I get there? And if you don't want to, that's fine too. This is not about you have to do this. You got to go towards significance. You got to make all these things. No, it's just, if you're interested in that, we'll share some story. We'll share some thoughts about how you can move along in that process. So please understand, we're not saying you have to be doing anything. This is your personal life journey.
And to add to that, survival doesn't mean starting in your 20s. It can even be you have everything that you ever wanted, and then boom, you come crashing down because that's taken away from you. You have to go into bankruptcy, or there's a divorce, or there's a suit, and you're back into
like a lawsuit.
Like a lawsuit. Yeah. Boom, you're back into survival mode.
Yeah.
These steps can happen in any decade of your life.
Very true.
And
Very
we
true.
want to give people encouragement that you can move forward. It's just a place. You're not stuck there.
Right. Oh, good point. Yeah, very good point. Because life goes up and down. We've seen it. I'm sure there's many people out there that've seen it. Probably you could be listening, or you might know friends who were looking, wow, they're doing great. And then things happen and boom, all of a sudden it's like, back to survival mode again. And that can happen at any time in life.
Right.
So the second stage then is what's called stability. So you can move from survival to stability. Stability means, hey, I know what's coming in every month. I know what's coming in every week. There'll be enough there. You're kind of feeling stable that, all right, I mean, yeah, it's not like it's pouring in, it's overabundant, but yet I'm stable. I'm okay. A little bit of stress is released. And I know, you and I have gotten there. We moved from survival to stability where, okay, we're okay now. We're okay. I mean, it's not overflowing.
We're okay now for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and you're okay now as long as something doesn't happen.
Right. You're okay now.
And you might relate to that one where you're stable, but everything, as the saying goes, turn to custard or it all falls apart. Then you could be back into survival mode again.
Right.
But right now you're stable.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to understand is in those first 2 phases of survival and stability, it's really about you.
Mm.
It's more, and I say this in a nice way, but it's really where you need to be selfish, because it is about you. It's about survival. How do I move beyond? How do I get out of this?
How do I survive?
How do I survive? And you have to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And stability, again, it's still a little bit more of selfish, And I guess now you're moving into an area when you're in stability where one of the things that can get in the way moving forward is ego. Because now you've really been doing everything for yourself because you had to. But now you can get an ego to move on because it's all been about me, me, me. And as we move to the next ladder, you kind of need to start dropping that off and not have an ego, but actually have humility. And I know for me, that was something that I had to work through, because in the survival and stability ladders of life we're talking about, didn't happen overnight, but I started to gain an ego because I had created a career as a chef, an executive chef, and was kind of the man in hotels and country clubs. And as that was happening, I started to get this ego about, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. And it wasn't really about others. And this ego started to be formed. Well, that's going to hinder you to moving to the next couple ladders as we talk about moving from survival to significance.
Yeah, you were like that. You're not that person anymore. I just want to say that also in the stability, you're comfortable. Oh, I'm fine. I'm happy. This is a calm. I feel very safe. There's nothing upsetting me. I'm fine here. This is nice. That's what happens in stability. And it is all about you.
Yeah.
It's all about you in that.
And that's okay. I mean, we're not saying
if that's
anybody,
what you want.
Right. No, but you don't need to move beyond stability if that's not for you.
Right.
But I would say that can be a trap of life and stability where, hey, okay, I'm here. I got out of survival. I'm stable now. I'll just ride it out here. And that can go for a long period of life until you realize, oh, wow, I just kind of sat here. But again,
and wasted a lot of my life, because I believe, as Michael does, that we all have this hole inside of us in our belly to do more, to be more. And it's challenging to fill that hole and stretch yourself and get out of your comfort zone to be more and to challenge yourself. That's hard. That's a lot of inner work. So if that's you, we might be speaking to you. We might be helping you open up that door that you've put over that hole in your stomach that says, I want more, but it's too hard, and I'm safe right here. This is for you. And that's what Michael's going to go ahead and talk about the next step.
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
That was fantastic.
Was that a good introduction?
So after stability, then the next step, if you say, okay, yeah, all right, I'm stable, but I don't want to just sit here. I want to move on. The next step is called success.
Ah, yes. How would you like to feel a sense of clarity, focus, and mental sharpness that enables you to tackle any challenge with ease? Can you envision experiencing a better memory and recall, allowing you to easily remember important details, names, and events? What could you accomplish if your mental energy is always high, allowing you to stay alert and productive throughout the day without feeling mentally fatigued or foggy? How great would it feel when you experience better quality sleep, allowing your brain to rest and recharge, leading to increased productivity and creativity? Imagine feeling a sense of calmness and control, allowing you to manage stress and anxiety with ease, giving you the confidence to handle any situation. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you experienced an overall sense of well-being and satisfaction? You see, your brain health positively impacts all areas of your life, from work to relationships and personal growth. Just visualize how amazing it would feel to have optimal brain health and unlock your full potential. If you want to learn more, and I know you do, then check out the link in the show notes for the Optimizing Your Brain Health community. And we look forward to seeing you there. And now, back to the rest of the show.
That word is whatever that is for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether it's relational, health, financial, whatever that may be, spiritual. The word success is up to you, however you define it. But I'm just talking about moving out of your comfort zone, because that's what's going to take now to go to this next level, is you're going to have to move out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to stretch yourself to move to a level of what's called success, because the motives are different now. The emotions are different now. Because when you move to the third level of success, it can't just be about you, because that's not going to take you there. What now it is, it's about you and others. And that could be, when I say others, it could be others you are serving in a way of, maybe that's a career or a business, but you have a team, you're serving others, you're helping others, you're doing something that's also making a difference in the lives of other people beyond you. Yes, you're still needing to make sure that you're set up properly so you don't just fall back into stability and survival. However, now you've got to spill out into other people's lives to move into this level of success. So a little bit of the difference here when we think about this is, when we're on levels 1 and 2, it's really an inward thinking about, what about me? What about me? What do I got to do? But now when we're talking about levels 3 and then beyond, we're going to talk about level 4, is it's more an outward thinking. Well, how can I serve? How can I make a difference in the world and with other people? It's also about our thinking is on levels 1 and 2. It's a little more limited. We're thinking, okay, yep, I'm good. I probably can't do more than this. But when we're talking about levels 3 and 4, it's really unlimited. We're starting to think now, hey, I can do more. I can achieve more. I can make a difference in more people's lives. I can be going on from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now changing the mindsets a little bit about where I'm going. And now also, I just want to say, because I know you're just chomping at the bit to you got some words. I know you do.
I have questions.
Yes. Yes. I just want to say this quote by the beautiful, beautiful man, John C. Maxwell, because now as we move into levels 3 and 4, this is a quote from him. You haven't been given life to test the waters. You are here to make waves.
Oh.
I am going to say that one more time because that's so beautiful. You haven't been given life to test the waters. You are here to make waves. Because going to levels 3 and 4, you will make waves. It's just the way it is. There will be other influences that will come against you probably. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're serving these people, or what's going on? Why are you out there doing that? Why are you stretching there? There will be others who are in levels 1 and 2 who might say, oh, no, don't do that. Stay back here with us. And that's their choice. But for you to go on, you need to make some personal choices, and that's going to make some waves. It's just the way it is.
Well, and there'll be some surfers, i.e. people in your life, that will come and surf the wave with you, your wave, and join you and go, yeah, I want to do this with you. Yeah, let's do this. We can make a big impact. That's just another, picture. Yeah. I love pictures. I live by pictures.
Now, you had some questions?
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask you, honey, can you give us examples about what it's like to be in the success level?
Okay, well, let's just say in health, in success level. This is where we've talked about this in our goal setting podcast last week, is, you're setting some goals for your health. You want to get to optimal health. You're stable. You feel good. You've got some good health. Then you know that there's more that you can do. You know that you can move to another level, and you want to move toward that success level of optimal health. Let's say maybe you're a 3-star or a 3.5 star in health, if we're using a 5-star rating. Mm-hmm. But personally that I want to get to 4+. I want to be 4.5. I mean, I'd love to get to 5, but that's perfection. But I want to move my health up a little bit more, moving toward that success level of health.
So with health, some people might be saying, oh, yeah, but that's an ego thing. It's all about you. Well, I beg to differ, because when you are taking good care of your health, other people won't have to be taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
underline, exclamation point, highlight in yellow. Okay. If you don't take good care of your health, other people are going to have to take care of you. Just that's clear
That's
and
true.
simple. Okay.
It's true. Yeah.
Like I don't want our girls having to take care of me
Yeah.
because of my ill health. So
Yeah.
that's number one.
And we know that because of the clients we work with of all ages where their health has gone down and the families had to chip in and help and, do things to help, which they will do.
Of course they will.
But it was only because that
they didn't know.
Yeah.
Or they didn't take
because of ill health.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. Okay. Then what's another example?
You were talking about questions.
Yeah. Another example of success. The finances.
Yes. And finances. Yes, you could be stable. We've been there. We've been stable. However, we wanted to be in abundance where we could do things for others. That's nice to get to a point where you're good. And if that's where you're at, fantastic. If you have no desire to go beyond that, it's your life. I'm just using us as an example. It was to move to success financially was to be able to spill out into others. How can we help others? If I see a need, I can give to that need. As we're building a business, we can build a team because when you have a business and you build a team,
you're helping them.
You're helping them. You're paying people. You're giving income, giving them something to do that's good and of value.
Mm-hmm.
So as you move on, yes, in the financial area, you're now spilling out into others and doing things that'll benefit others.
Right.
Yeah. And then relational, you might be saying, I've got a good marriage. I mean, it's kind of, we're good, but you might be saying, you know what? I want to be better for me as a husband. I want to be a better husband. We have 2 daughters. I want to be a better dad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a better man. I want to learn about being better with people. I've had to do that. I always thought I was good, but now I look back and 20, 30 years ago, I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy was an idiot. I mean, if I really, was honest, I'd be embarrassed about who I was 20, 30 years ago. But that was then. I was focused on myself because I was in survival and stability mode. But I'm realizing that to move on to success, I need to be a much better person from a relational point of view, relational to everybody I come in contact with.
Which is really a lifelong.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't
It's
just
a lifelong
end.
Education.
Yeah, that doesn't just end. But that's in this step, that's part of what needs to happen.
Right. Okay, that pretty much gives us some really good examples.
Cool. Yeah. And you got to make some waves along the way.
Yeah, and there'll be some surfers that surf right along with you.
Are you surfing with me?
Oh,
we're on a longboard. We're both on it together. I love it.
And we have others that are surfing on this wave with us too, which is really neat. I love to see that. We're not alone on this wave.
Big wave.
It's a big, long board wave. Big, long
got
board
a huge
surf.
break. Yeah, we're on it.
Surfboard.
Funny.
That word came out finally.
Okay. All right. Step 4 now, but going beyond success, the ultimate, if this is where you want to go, is what's called significance. So moving beyond success to significance, just remember in step 3 with success, it was still somewhat about us, but now it was starting to empower and breathe into others and spill over into others and how you can serve. But number 4, significance, is 100% about others.
Totally.
It's now all about what you can do for the world, what you can do for others. This is now setting up what's called legacy thinking, legacy work, doing things that will better the planet for future generations, doing things for your family, doing things for in your field of where you're working hours and in health and wellness and brain health that will help people in their generations. Because when we work with clients, what I now know and I'm so passionate about is we're not helping one person. We're helping the family generational, because once you improve one person's health, others will learn from it. Others will see it. And that gets passed on generationally, because you're now breaking the chain of ill health in so many lifelines of families.
Totally, especially with what we're doing. Yeah.
Yes. And so some really cool things I've started to understand is when we prioritize significance over success, that cultivates a sense of purpose that's going to fuel every endeavor, every thing, every item that we're taking on, every goal we're doing is now going to be about how can I serve others? Here's the goal. And it takes our eyes totally off on us. You have to be so humble. You have to have a lot of humility when you move into significance, because it's now going to be so much just about others. You know, we can discover our greatest achievements. They're not measured by our bank balances now. It's about the lives we touch and how many people we can serve and what we can do for the world. That's actually now how you're going to measure success, is what you can do for the world. And that just now, that fourth level of significance really changes everything for generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not everybody's moved to do that, but you know, there are a lot that are, and that's, we're speaking to all four levels. Because we're all, you know, human beings doing the best we can here on earth.
And we all have our own journey. I just wanted to share that today just to bring some thoughts about how we can move to those different levels. Number one, survival. Yep, we all start there. Number two, stability, a little more stable. Moving on beyond that, success. Now it's about others. We're bringing others in. And number four, significance, where it's 100% about others. And now we're leaving a legacy for the planet and for everyone we know.
Very good, Babe. I'm glad you shared that with everybody.
Thank you so much. And just know, as we've said, it's your journey where you want to be, and understand that if you're in stability and you want to stay there, fantastic. It's whatever turns you on. And hopefully, if you have one of these levels that you want to go to, or you want to make sure you don't fall back into, hopefully this conversation will help you to understand a little bit about how that success ladder, that significance ladder, can be taken one step at a time, and just set yourself up so you hopefully don't go back down the ladder again.
And if you do go back down the ladder, like a lot of us have, us included, you just get back on and start climbing back up. It's just giving you clarity on the steps in life. Okay.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us today on the MD and Chef Team podcast. And if you loved what you've heard today, and you know it will serve somebody else well, please share it with them. Make a difference in somebody else's life, because that's being significant in their life.
That's exactly right. And thank you so much for your time. Remain unstoppable, okay? I'm looking at you. I can see you through this microphone. Remain unstoppable. Chase your goal, not the date, okay? Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Chef Michael here. If you enjoyed today's episode, we would love it if you subscribed to the podcast and left us a review. Hello, Chef Michael here. If you enjoyed today's episode, we would love it if you subscribed to the podcast and left us a review.